week of football and sport across the world. I mean, the UEFA Champions League will come to a close. The UEFA Conference League and Europa League were played across the week, and the NPFL Super 6 is currently on. But we'll start with the NPFL Super 6 as the match days have now reached this match day 4, and they'll be playing the final match to determine the winner of the championship tomorrow on Sunday. And it will be a magnificent game played across. It's been spectacular so far. They've seen 4 match days with a lot of back and forth goals, repeated counter attacks, and some stalemate and draws. The last match, the match before, ended with Rivers United defeating Bendel Insurance for the first time so far this season, 2-1, while Lobby Stars were defeated by Remo Stars 2-0, and Sunshine Stars fell to the sword against Eyimba International 3-0. Moving forward, we have the table now for the Super 6 from table 1, from rank 1 from 1 to 6. We have Eyimba in first position with 8 points, winning 4 matches, playing 4 matches, winning 2 and drawing 2. Rivers United also have 8 points on the log, but divided by goal difference with Eyimba scoring more goals. Sunshine Stars sit beneath at the bottom of the table with 2 points alongside Lobby Stars, while Remo Stars stays in third with 6 points after winning Lobby Stars on match day 4. Well, the football season will be concluding its spectacle with the UEFA Champions League live in Istanbul, Turkey. It will be Manchester City versus Inter Milan. It's going to be a blockbuster game between both parties, defending champions of the Premier League, current champions of the Premier League, and former champions of the Italian Serie A, Inter Milan, a team notably for their most clean sheets so far in the tournament, with 8 clean sheets courtesy of Andrea Onana and some spectacular defending from the Nerazzurris. Manchester City will now look to turn over the deficit as they lost the last Champions League final they played in to Chelsea under the guise of Thomas Tuchel, losing in a 1-goal triumph to the blue side, the goal scored by Kai Havertz. It will be a grand game to see, as the team who has scored the most goal in the tournament will be playing the team who has conceded less in the tournament. Who do you think will take home the triumph of the 2022-2023 Champions League trophy? Well, some people are saying it will be the determinant of Pep Guardiola becoming the greatest coach of all time. Well, we'll wait to see. And there's so many spectacular rumors going across the world of football about the teams, whoever win the Champions League, will always have a Croatian in their team. Well, Inter Milan has Marcelo Brozovic. Let's see if that superstition will come to pass. But Manchester City are starkly packed with players such as Bernardo Silva, Erling Haaland, Kevin De Bruyne, Ilkay Gundogan, and a lot more breathtaking footballers to give you the major spectacle. It's tonight, Champions League final, Manchester City versus Inter Milan. Will this be the crowning moment for the citizens, or will the Nerazzurris take back a triumph that they've once enjoyed? Well, moving on to transfer updates, we'll move to one of the biggest stories that happened across the footballing world, which was Lionel Messi choosing MLS side Inter Miami, co-owned by David Beckham. It was a shock move, as most people would have expected that Lionel Messi would take the bait to go back to Barcelona and have a further farewell send-off. After departure from PSG, his father Jorge Messi communicated with Barcelona president Joan Laporta about the possibility of the Argentine returning back to the Blaugrana side, but Messi, in a statement saying that he has heard that some players will be sold and some wages will be cut, that would be able to allow him come back into the fold, and he was not about to let that happen. Such a gentleman, Lionel Messi. But if you see the breakdown of the deal from Inter Miami, then you know that Messi is on the right side of the deal. Lionel Messi turned down a whopping $1 billion deal from Al Hilal in Saudi Arabia. But on the other hand, in Inter Miami, he now has a percentage of the subscription of the MLS season pass on Apple TV, paid directly by Apple, a percentage of Adidas profit resulting from his involvement in MLS, paid directly by Adidas, and an option to purchase a percentage of the MLS franchise at the end of his career. What a bargaining chip for a player who some seemed he didn't take the transfer baits to go to Saudi, such as Ronaldo and Karim Benzema did frequently. Just recently, he has decided to go to Inter Miami. Well, that's all we have on the updates. We'll now go to Lagos, as I have a guest joining me to discuss the second Grand Slam of the season, Roland Garros. The French Open has been going on in spectacular, and a lot of top seed have crashed out, and we're now seeing former finalist and one of the greatest of the game, Novak Djokovic, with Kasparov in the final. I'm joined by Chibuzo Ibe from Lagos to discuss the Roland Garros review. Chibuzo, good morning. How are you doing? Can you hear me, Chibuzo? Can you hear me? Good morning. Seems we're having a little bit of technical difficulty there. Well, the Roland Garros kicked off last week with top seeds and top seeds from and unseeded players playing spectacular, magnificent tennis on the clay surface. As the all-time great of the king of the Roland Garros, the king of clay, Rafael Nadal pulled out, and he's also now going to do a surgery. We'll try and connect back with our guest in Lagos to see if he's available to speak with us. Chibuzo, good morning. Can you hear me?
Hi. Good morning.
Wonderful. I can hear you clearly now. So before you came on, we were discussing about the Roland Garros. And, the French Open has been nothing but spectacular so far this season. But the first story I want us to get at is one of the most inspiring ones so far on tour this season is Alex van der Zverev, who crashed out last year at the semifinals playing against Rafael Nadal and eventually has now found his way back onto the court. Though he's now exited the tournament after losing 3 straight sets to Casper Ruud yesterday, the Norwegian. But what would you have to say about Zverev's coming back to the tour?
So when it comes to tennis players, this is something that you do week in, week out, and when you have an injury and you have to make a comeback, it's usually one of the most difficult things to do. I mean, look at Serena. It wasn't even an injury. She just went away, to give birth, and coming back, what she was looking for eluded her. And look at someone like Dominic Thiem. After his injury, he's still struggling to find his way back. So I know Zverev has struggled in the aftermath of his injury and comeback. And in fact, in May, he even had to split with his coach, in a way to find, his rhythm again. So I'm really very excited about the fact that he's able to, find a way to conjure and find himself again into the semifinals, which was where he, lost out and picked up this injury in the first place. So to see him come back and, play, I don't know if it was deja vu or whatever it was that, kind of like hit him to, not be able to follow through, and find his way into the finals. I mean, losing out last year as a result of injury and then losing out at the semifinals this year. But I am really very excited for what he has been able to achieve. And the interesting thing is that for the rest of the year, he's going to pick up new fresh points. So I see him, ascending to the top 10 very soon.
Yeah, well, it will be nothing but exciting to see Sasha Zverev back into the top ranks. But now let's go to the finale on Sunday with one of the world's greatest tennis player, Novak Djokovic, will be playing back-to-back finalist Casper Ruud. But now, first of all, let's start with Casper Ruud and quickly just give me your insight. Casper Ruud has made it to back-to-back Grand Slam titles. Though some of them have said on tour that he's been a little bit weak, losing sets to unseeded players. But being at the back-to-back finals of a clay tour season is not a joke. Casper, what do you have to say about him?
So Caspar is someone I think is, he's taking a lot of notes from Rafa. You can see the influences beyond, anything that I can think of. I think of all of Rafa's protege on the ATP side of things right now. I think Wood is leading that pack. And he had this similar thing that Rafa had in 2019, where he went on with no title to got to Rome,
The
and
Roland
then he would
Garros,
go on
yeah.
to win Rome and then go on to win RG that year. So that I think that is what like is being replicated in Casper this season. I mean, this is somebody who has picked up 10 titles and 9 of them are on clay. And the only title that he has picked up this year is Estoril, and that was a month or two back. And to see him, struggle because I think a lot of people posited that it was because he took another lane in his preseason. That is what is actually causing this ripple effect all through this season that he's not able to, achieve his feat from 2022. But it's nice to see that he's able to, at this particular French Open, be able to make a comeback, and he's been doing marvelously well. And I have no doubt in his ability if he keeps on this path. And then back to Djokovic. I mean, I have shared here that Djokovic is if there's a character I would liken him to is Shang Tsung in Mortal Kombat. He takes your legs, which
It
is
first
literally
he
what he
takes your
did to
legs.
Alcaraz,
First he takes your
and then
legs.
he takes your soul.
Just before
Djokovic.
you continue, watching Alcaraz and Djokovic playing that much mouth-watering spectacular semi-finals yesterday. It was 1-0 to the Spaniard before the game pulled 1-1. But I was watching the first couple of sets, and you could see Alcaraz's excitement, but it was cramp. And that just simply shows how much at that age for Novak Djokovic to be able to take a youngster who can sprint and make some of the most magnificent shots on court to play him to a level that you will wear him out to having a cramp. How magnificent is Djokovic? And to finish up the Djokovic round, do you think we can now ordain him as the greatest tennis player of all time if he eventually clinches the Roland Garros, which he seems to be the favorite?
I think there are a lot of things that goes into. I mean, maybe I'm biased at this point, but there are a lot of things that goes into greatest of all time, and it depends on where you're coming from. I mean, Djokovic has literally shattered all the records there is out there, but I think a lot of people will beg to differ, and I wouldn't want to exactly dabble into that. But yes, he's definitely amongst the greatest of all time. If if we're counting that, and what Djokovic brings to the table is literally dashing the dreams of people, because I know a lot of people were rooting for Alcaraz yesterday. This is a young guy who everybody was rallying behind and wanting to see overcome Djokovic, but then Djokovic doing what Djokovic and
Yeah,
doing what Djokovic does
Djokovic doing what Djokovic does
eventually.
best. So quickly, let's go to the WTA women. Iga Swiatek back-to-back finals. Iga Swiatek, she's just been magnificent. Her reign, she's not dropped a set so far in the French Open. And to see that at the beginning of the year, she seemed a little bit shaken up a little bit. But now she's playing Muchova, who dropped out Arena Sabalenka. In quick seconds and in quick seconds. Let us know what you think about Iga Swiatek. Is she the one to take on the mantle of leadership from Serena Williams? Because we've seen a glimpse of certain athletes, but they've never stayed on top. We saw Naomi Osaka come on tour, and she wasn't really able to piece those things together. But eventually, we've seen someone who has shown so much resilience. Iga Swiatek, where would you rate her? And how far do you think she can get on tour? Can she ever match Serena Williams?
Oh, I mean, the record that Serena has left behind is a very huge feat for anybody to feel, and I wouldn't want to put any pressure on anybody to. But then, Swiatek is someone that, I mean, she's literally replicating what she did in 2020. All over again, winning the title without dropping a set, and this is at the you know this is a major event. It's not like it's your normal 500 or
Or
lower. This is
1000s.
a grand slam.
It's a grand slam.
Exactly. This is a grand slam. So being able to, she's literally replicating her template that she used in 2020. And out of the three grand slams that she currently has, two of them has been at the Roland Garros. So I think she's pretty much on her way to dominating the women's roster for a very long time. For how long, for now, I cannot say, but if she continues at this pace, obviously she's I mean, this is somebody who is handing out bagels on her way. These are tough players, and she
And she's taking
goes
them out
on
in straight
and play.
sets.
Exactly. I'm making it look very easy. So obviously she's going to be here for a very long time, and I have no doubt in her talent.
All right, then that's a perfect place to leave it. I think we're out of time. Chibuzo, thank you always for coming on to give us your most knowledgeable insights on the Roland Garros. Wish that one day you'll be live here in the studio with us so we can actually have you on set, discuss about the overview of the tennis season. But till then, I'll
Very
be
soon.
seeing you. Thank you for joining us this morning, and thank you to our viewers for watching.
Thank you.
It's been Ayo
Thank
Adams
you.
on the sports segment of the weekend show. And to all of you NPFL lovers, the final of the NPFL season will commence tomorrow, match day 5. Make sure you tune in. More matches are live on SuperSport. And the River Champions League final will kick off tonight with Man City versus Inter Milan. I'm Ayo Adams. See you same time next week. Bye-bye for now.